Hey guys, welcome back here today. Today we're going to talk about replacing a trigger on a Smith & Wesson SW40VE. If you're not familiar with this gun, it's essentially a copy of the old second, third gen Glocks. I think Smith actually got sued about 25 years ago for patent infringement. Anyways, we're trying to replace this trigger piece right here. As you can see, Smith & Wesson's had one of those shitty plastic triggers on there of theirs. And we're going to replace it with this Apex SD polymer action enhancement trigger. So because the trigger is broken, you disassemble like a Glock. You have to pull the trigger to drop the striker. I had to pop the back plate off of this, which is that piece right there. Be careful because that spring right there launched out and almost jimmy jammed my eye. So those are the components to the slide. I'll put that back together in a second. The lower parts, you'll have to knock out this center big old punch pin right there. That holds the trigger assembly that you can see right there, the locking block, and right there our slide release slide stop. The back pin does not need to be removed, so you can leave it in place. When you get to the face of the trigger, in order to remove the trigger bar right here, you're going to have to take a super small punch, something like that, and knock the shoe of the trigger out, which is right there. It's held in by that little pin right here, if you can see it. And you'll have to knock it out of that notch right in there. Once that's knocked out, the rest of the installation should be fairly easy. Set the camera right there. Alright. I'm going to try to do this without you can kind of see. I say that and I'll break something probably. That's the new trigger, and it will place that trigger. The Apex trigger is smoother, it looks like, and in one piece. The plastic it's got a flatter face on there. It's not that weird curvy hook, so I bet that feels a little better. But the plastic actually looks like I won't say subpar, but it looks kind of janky. Anyways, not my gun, not my problem. So we're just gonna, looks like the side pin right there is already semi pre-installed, so that's good news. You don't have to drive that pin all the way out. You can just tack this one in, so that'll keep it pretty easy on installation. I always say that these things take like an hour and then run out of footage. Ow, fuck. Piece of shit. Alright, and there's that. So that trigger's back in place. Now, unlike a Glock trigger, this one also has they put the coil spring in the front here. So you're gonna have to finagle this bad boy back in like so, and that coil spring sits like that. That's the trigger return spring. So it should sit like that. Alright. So let's try to reassemble this frame in the allotted time I have. Shit. Keep saying that, I keep dropping everything. So there's my locking block. This trigger piece right here, it will kind of go in right back here. That little hook, y'all can see that, will hook right behind that piece. Like so. Oh, shit, probably the locking block goes last. Drop in the shoe, the trigger. Bam, just like that. Alright. Now to figure out how the rest of this goes together. This piece obviously goes here. And this trigger return spring, oh, that's where it goes. The trigger return spring, this piece will be driven into that piece, held in place by the cross pin. So we're gonna have to kind of get that piece in there. you know, look something like that. That's how the trigger and the trigger spring will go in. I hope. Yeah, I might need to watch a YouTube video to see how this thing goes together. You know what? I always used to have a lot of respect for Smith & Wesson. Then I realized they just copied every other person. I think the last 10 years they've been pretty much copying all the dudes at Kel-Tec. So it's like Smith & Wesson, imitation meets life. Alright, I'm gonna pause that video right here. So I'm burning 5 minutes.